So it's actually Robichaux, and I had it right the first time, and I won't say who I listened to who got me to botch that name, but it's Lakeisha Robichaux, who is the CEO of Chief of Minds and the president of the Baton Rouge Metropolitan Black Chamber. So let's start with Chief of Minds. What is that?
So Chief of Minds, we are an outsourced human resources and organizational development firm. So for our clients, we make HR easy. We have workforce solutions for HR consulting, compliance, staffing, recruitment, you name it. We're their HR department.
All right, and then what's your service area?
So everything from staffing and recruitment, we serve, as far as the service area, we service nationwide. So not only just the Baton Rouge area, but also nationwide, we have clients.
It's almost like a virtual HR director.
Fractional, exactly. Many people call it fractional human resources.
Smart.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about the chamber. So you have been president for how long now?
Since August.
Since August. And what is the mission of this chamber?
The mission of the chamber is really to create, grow, scale, and sustain Black businesses across the metropolitan Baton Rouge area. We really want to drive economic development within the Black community, and even beyond that, and help them sustain by connecting them with opportunities when it comes to growing and sustaining their business.
You know, I like to tell people that investment in businesses that are in parts of our community that are largely African American has an impact on so many things. Absolutely. Quality of life, income,
yes,
and crime.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where people are prospering and doing well, they are less likely to be doing something else. That's one of the reasons why this investment is so important. What's your top goal, or what are your top goals for 2024?
Our top goals for 2024 is really close to what you said, to really be able to, one, drive the growth inside of businesses, which creates opportunities, because businesses are really the backbone, especially small businesses, because they create opportunity, employment opportunities, if you would, which again, that's the economic factor, the income factor, which helps sustain the clients, the business, and the community. So that would be one. Second is really more so opportunities, because last year you saw a lot of businesses that really had challenges and struggles when it came to their business, and they were not able to sustain, or you saw some that had to close. So how can we connect them to opportunities so that way they can sustain, they can grow, and we can get them back on their feet? And then lastly is really to have the marketing and networking opportunities for business owners.
You know, people talk a lot about cities around Baton Rouge, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, in terms of their investment in every part of the community, and that doesn't seem to be the case here a lot. Why is that?
Yeah, that's true. And unfortunately, I think it's because, one, the advocacy, often it's driven, but it's not continued. And then just the education behind it. We have programs that exist, so, and some of them really are doing a phenomenal job, but again, it's the awareness that's not happening. And then a lot of times, often, it's not also driven inside of the community, so that way they have access, you know, to the knowledge, to opportunity. So we need to do a better job with bringing the educational opportunities, bringing the awareness, and then advocating for what we need, even in a political standpoint as well. We have to have those connections.
Well, you heard segment one, we talked about the political landscape here next year with us having a mayor's race on the ballot. And then we've got the city council that's up, many of them for re-election. If you had an audience with the mayor and whoever will run against her, and then city council members who represent these areas, what would you say to them? What would you direct them to be focused on in the coming years?
Opportunities for Black businesses. You know, how we've done the certification programs and things like that. We have that, but also what type of funding? So the opportunities in which they can, even with the city, you know, programs that they have, or small business programs where they can directly have opportunities for these small businesses to connect them to, but then also funding. What does that funding look like? Because there's also a lack of capital, especially when it comes to Black businesses. There's been surveys done, and our members have given us the feedback. That's what makes it hard to sustain. So how can they support that? What can they do to really help us give back, and whether they qualify for some of this funding opportunities, so that way the business can be sustainable?
If someone is interested in either joining the chamber or learning more, where can they go?
They should go to www.brmbcc.com, and that's the Baton Rouge Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce.
I was going to say, give me that one more time. I'm sitting next to you and I missed that one. One more time.
So www.brmbcc.com.
And then for you going into, in this last, 30 seconds or so, your goal, Lakeisha's goal for 2024.
So Lakeisha's goal for 2024, you know, many people talk about different words that they have, and my word for the year really is believe. And so I believe that with the community, with small businesses, because I'm very driven on growth and advocacy, that we can make positive change, that we can really grow and expand businesses across the Baton Rouge metropolitan area and beyond. And so really believing in the expansion, the growth, and the scales of our community, of our businesses, and then hopefully that expands beyond the state and city.
I love it. Quickly, give them that website one more time.
That's www.brmbcc.com.
All right, guys, y'all have a great weekend. Next week, we'll get an update on Move BR. We'll also talk with Julio Malera about the business report and the climate of business, and we'll follow up on the mayor's State of the City address. Have a great weekend.